Hello everybody. I hope everyone's good. I've not recorded one of these videos for a while because the last 4 videos have been basically the Mindful Man talk that I did. So I've not had a chance to actually talk like this in a video. I've just literally finished a weekend intensive that I did in Devon. I talk about doing longer events in my newsletter. So we decided to just randomly put together an event and see what happened, and a nice group of people came together. Lots of things were discussed, and a lot of the ideas that I'm working with came out as well as kind of looking at parallels between different traditions and how they're all saying the same thing. The thing that stood out for me was we talked a lot about trust and trusting what's going on, and it seemed to be something that was kind of going across the board with everyone. It is a crazy time, a lot of people, and the way the world situation is, a lot of people are unsure of what's going on with what's not. And it's in times like this that we can kind of, in a sense, lose our footing and start acting blindly and out of panic and hoping that if we rush, or we try to go after something, that we'll get it. And you see the same thing happening in the spiritual community, in the sense that people want to wake up, and they want to wake up right now. Even though what we talk about is timeless, people are like, I want to wake up right now. And sometimes that's not what's needed. And I found myself at the weekend really talking a lot about processes, and the fact that I myself have found that sometimes, you can't have a certain conversation, that each conversation's got to happen as and how it is. And that if we could relax and not come with any intention to these talks, or, have this barrier and this pressure that we put on ourselves about wanting to wake up right now, that we might find that we get to the destination faster. It's almost like saying the slower we move, the faster we get there, which is a bit of a paradox, a bit of a contradiction. I understand that, but if we really examine that, the slower we go, the faster we get there, because we eliminate all these different pressures that we put on ourselves, are wanting to understand what the speaker's saying, or are wanting to understand what its own basic means. And then on top of that, we throw this whole idea of the pressure, and then of wanting to wake up, and then we look at the other person in the room and wonder if they've had an awakening. Or what we do is we judge the teacher on whether people have woken up around that teacher, as if people waking up or the number of followers that they have is important. None of that's important. It's not about having followers. It's not about having people follow you and say what you're doing is right. It's about you waking up to what your real reality is. A good teacher will always push you back into yourself and say that the answers that you're looking for are within you. Their job really is just to hold up a mirror, and also to possibly help in that process until you yourself can sustain what's going on within you. And that was a majority of what came out, this whole idea of trusting the process, trusting what's going on, and trusting that you already know. Because what I found over the course of the weekend, there was a lot of people, who negated their own position by telling me something which completely changed my conversation with them, and also showed them that the thing that they're looking for, they already know, and they know exactly what they've got to do, or they know exactly what they've got to examine, or they know exactly what they've got to accept. So the thing is, it's like, in a sense, saying that this reality that you're looking for. Like I say, how can you seek something that you don't even know? We must have some understanding of it to even seek for it. And if our very seeking for it answers the question that we already know it. So it's these little logic traps that a lot of people come with to talks, and it's just watching that process play out. If somebody turns up at talk and kind of says it's all here and now, it's all here and now, it's all here and now, invariably there's no doubt a journey there. And if somebody comes and they say that they've been journeying for the last 20 years and have done all these therapies, then really it's all about the immediacy of now. So I'm now in the process of now looking to offer longer retreats, because what I find is it creates a sense of community, which is, I found that people were forming friendships, making it easier for me to do the work I needed to do. It also allows you to deeply immerse into the experience of what you truly are. Because sometimes a lot of people turn up and they don't really commit to themselves. They feel that a 3-hour talk maybe once every month is somehow going to magically wake them up. As I say, this is something that's taken over my life completely, and and the lives of other teachers, and a lot of people have this audacity to think that because they've read I Am That, or they have the right buzzwords, that somehow that's it, they're going to make it. This is really about introspection and really looking at what you truly are. And sometimes what that basically means is a lot of these ideas of what we feel are right and wrong are challenged. And these are ideas that we've held on for a long time, and sometimes some of them pass and some don't go without a fight. And it's really about being okay with that and just trusting that reality as it is always perfect and it's doing exactly what it needs to. So there was a lot of insights for myself as well personally over this weekend, and no doubt, you know, I'm kind of sitting here, I've done 2.5 days worth of talks and it's been great, and I've got that nice little buzz of I'm tired, I've just finished a talk and going off for a coffee and everything, and no doubt there'll be more insights. And so this is kind of a video that was not really planned, it was just this wanting to share some insights. So it's not really taking any direction, there's all these other videos I want to record, but it's just kind of really just to share some experience of what's happening now after a retreat, of the energies in the room, the way people have reacted, the gratitude that I felt, that others have felt, and the way that we've been able to immerse something that affects all of us, including the speaker as well, because we're always constantly realizing what we truly are. There's a constant movement towards what is, and not even towards what is, there's just this constant movement. You know, we are constantly revealing ourselves to ourselves. So, you know, I'm grateful about this opportunity to do my first UK retreat. I've done retreats in Europe, but I find as you go to different places, there's different kind of characteristics, energies, and what have you. And what was interesting was some of the stuff that came up, some of the issues, and, you know, I for one have come out of this, you know, a richer person, and I know that it's going to affect what I talk about. Because what I'm finding now, it's really more about helping people eliminate those little issues that are stopping them from seeing what they truly are. There's a really famous quote by Rumi about the need for a guide, because there is a lot of this screaming that you are your own guru. And I totally agree that the only teacher that has all your answers is you. But we've got to sometimes need a helping hand to realize that to the core of our being. And that's when we're going to be okay. That's when we're able to look at our experience and eliminate those barriers, eliminate what's standing in the way. And that's been like one of my insights. No doubt, you know, there's going to be other insights that come out, and no doubt I'm going to hear from a lot of the participants as to what they felt. But it kind of feels good as well to record a video after having spoken to people about something you love over the last couple of days. Because I do feel quite grateful and very, well, not even quite, I feel very grateful and humbled that this is what I get to do, to be able to point, to be able to share. I'm looking forward to doing more and of these, but what's important is something I said to everybody, that it's really always about you, that when you come to a talk, you're, in a sense, the special one. And it's really all about you and discovering what you truly are. So I think that's that, because this video hasn't had any particular topic or subject, so it may appear like I'm rambling and stuff, but I'm in that place where I feel quite good. And, you know, I just wanted to share that with everybody, because although the last couple of months I've been recording videos on different subjects, I feel engaging with people more is really the way forward for me. So I welcome feedback. I'm enjoying what's happening in talks and the people who are appearing, and there's some incredible people I meet, and there's some incredible insights, and I invite others to come and sit with us and see what they make of it all. So that's that really, bit of an abrupt ending. I'm looking to obviously record some more videos. I'm looking at something called Living Openly, about living from this place of expansion. And prior to that, something called Stopping and Starting, which was a bit of a conversation I had a friend with mine who's a psychotherapist, and we were talking about therapies and different healing modalities. So I'm looking forward to sharing those. I think what I really wanted to share here was just really some of my experiences from this retreat, because I feel it's not just the participants who are being affected, it's the speaker, the teacher also being affected as well. And it can only be beneficial for pretty much both sides concerned, really. So thank you to everybody who came along. It was wonderful. Thank you for the insights. No doubt it will affect what I'm doing. If you haven't subscribed to the newsletter, I'm going to put a link below. Please do, because there's an article about this, and a really beautiful article about the last days, which will make sense if you read it. And also, yeah, leave some comments. Let me know what you'd like to hear, because one of the things that we discussed at the end was for the participants, for anybody who follows what I do, to tell me what they want to see and what they want to hear. Because yes, I could just talk about whatever, but it's really about yourselves and the journeys that we're on and the realizations that we're having. And really just say, what is it that you require from me for you to finally be free of me, or to be free of any of this stuff? Because as I say to people, just make this a last talk and go inwards, because all self-inquiry, all approaches lead us inwards into what we truly are. And yes, if we can help in any way, then we're always here.